Imagine the unthinkable. A government standoff so intense that it could slam the brakes on America's bustling skies, grounding flights across the nation and plunging travelers into utter disarray. As the federal shutdown drags on, U.S. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy has issued a stark warning that hits home for millions of flyers. But here's where it gets controversial, sparking debates on who's really to blame for this aerial crisis. On October 28, 2025, Duffy stood in front of reporters at New York's LaGuardia Airport in Queens, delivering a message that underscored the perilous state of U.S. air travel. If this budget impasse stretches into another week, he cautioned, we're looking at widespread turmoil, countless flight holdups, widespread scrubbings of journeys, and potentially the unprecedented step of sealing off segments of the national airspace to keep operations safe. Democrats, by the time we hit a week from now, expect total pandemonium, endless delays, rampant cancellations, and possibly the closure of key airspace zones because we simply can't keep up. Duffy declared during his Tuesday press briefing, "We'll impose restrictions if safety hangs in the balance." To stay updated on these developments, consider signing up for alerts here. Already, the aviation sector has been reeling from a surge in complications. With tens of thousands of flights postponed in just the past month alone, Duffy's remarks mark the Trump administration's gravest alerts yet about the mounting fallout from an increasing number of absent air traffic controllers, those unsung heroes who guide planes safely through the heavens, ensuring timely takeoffs and landings. Without them fully staffed, the system buckles, leading to the kind of chaos that could affect everything from business trips to family vacations. Stock prices for major carriers took a nosedive in response to the news, with shares of Delta, United Airlines, and American Airlines plummeting by over 5% each. This dip reflects investor fears that the disruptions aren't just temporary hiccups, but could escalate into a full-blown crisis. As the shutdown ticked past its 35th day, the Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, took decisive action by postponing a fresh batch of flights on Tuesday. Airlines reported that over the course of this week, a staggering 3.2 million passengers have endured delays or outright cancellations, all tied to a sharp rise in controller no-shows. Tuesday saw over 2,300 flights delayed across the board, with the FAA mandating holdups in places like Phoenix and gearing up for similar issues in Houston after observing personnel gaps in Denver, Detroit, and other hubs. FAA head Brian Bedford elaborated on this during an appearance on Fox Business's Varney Co., revealing that at the agency's top 30 airports, between 20% and 40% of controllers are staying home, a troubling statistic that underscores how understaffing can ripple through the entire network. Politically, fingers are pointing squarely at the Republicans for allegedly refusing to engage in talks to end the deadlock. This prolonged shutdown has worsened already strained staffing levels, leaving about 13,000 air traffic controllers and 50,000 Transportation Security Administration, TSA, personnel toiling without compensation. Many are calling in sick or opting out entirely, exacerbating the shortages that make safe aviation a challenge. For context, think of air traffic controllers as the conductors of a vast aerial symphony. Without enough of them, the music falters, and in this case, it's leading to gridlock in the skies. History offers a cautionary parallel. Back in 2019, similar widespread disruptions during a 35-day shutdown under President Donald Trump's initial term pushed lawmakers to resolve the standoff swiftly, highlighting how past crises can inform current predicaments. Just last Friday, the FAA reported that nearly half of the nation's 30 busiest airports grappled with controller shortages on their worst day since the shutdown kicked off. In New York, the situation was particularly acute, with 80% of controllers absent, a scenario that could leave travelers stranded and raise questions about whether this is just a staffing glitch or a symptom of deeper systemic issues. And this is the part most people miss. While some argue the shutdown is a necessary pressure tactic for policy changes, others contend it's an avoidable disaster that unfairly burdens everyday Americans. Is the political brinkmanship worth risking our national airspace? Do you side with those demanding immediate negotiations, or do you believe the administration's stance is justified? Share your opinions in the comments. Let's discuss whether this chaos is preventable or part of a larger unavoidable clash. Reporting by David Shepardson. Editing by David Gregorio and Aurora Ellis. Our standards, the Thomson Reuters Trust Principles.